Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to come to you again on this edition of the BMAC Accountants webinar series. And we are so glad to have you join us today. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you could just sort of, if we could introduce ourselves. My name is Sam Afemikhe. I'm a co-founder ikOOba Technologies and one of your discussants today. If you could introduce yourself in the chat box as well, tell us where you are dialing in from. We would love to meet you. I'm ably supported by my colleagues, Mr. Stephen Collade and Dami as well, Dami Tomosiri. So, you know, if you have any questions, you should also please, you can ask them this afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. So like I said, my name is Sam Afemikhe and I'm in Lagos. I'm here in Lagos. Let us know where you are dialing in from. It promises to be a really, really engaging topic today. I'm excited about this. I'm an accountant. I our lead discussant today is a revered accountant, and he is going to be talking. We are going to be talking about topics that are very, very dear to the hearts of chartered accountants. Chartered accountants are the future. They possess so many skills that many other people don't have. And you know, they talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, they talk about so many interesting things. And a lot of people write off accountants, and I think they do so erroneously. So, you know, I'm an accountant, I'm in the technology space. I know what accountants can do and how they can contribute to this conversation. And this is the best place to be. So thank you very much. Without much further ado, I want to also welcome our discussant, Mr. George Onekhena, who is a brilliant accountant and a mentor to me and a lot of other accountants. You know, let's show Mr. George some love. So without much further ado, let me share my screen so I can show you what we'll be doing today. So we'll be doing introductions, and we're going to be having some housekeeping, looking at some housekeeping, and then we'll go straight to Mr. George's presentation. And then we'll take a poll which Steve and Stephen will be handling, and then we'll showcase the BPP, we'll showcase a few videos, and then I will give a very interesting presentation as well. So I want to appeal that you be patient with us, but we are going to move pretty fast as well. Get your pens and papers, take notes. We have a recording, but you never know, just take some notes, okay? So that is that. So our speakers, that's myself, Sam Afemikhe, and Mr. George.
I'm going to be reading a biography of our speakers for today, and I'll be starting with Sam Afemikhe, who is the co-founder of ikOOba and also partner at SSAC Advisory and Professionals. Sam is co-founder and CEO of ikOOba Technologies. ikOOba are the creators of BMAC Apps, including BMAC Accounting, BMAC Inventory Management Software, IMS, and BMAC Invoice Solution. He's also an executive director at SSAC Advisory and Professionals, formerly SS Afemikhe Consulting, a leading accounting, tax, and business advisory firm. At SSAC, he oversees the Strategy, Change, and Transformation Unit. Sam has had an extensive career in investment banking, working for organizations such as Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, and Royal Bank of Canada. There, he worked across product control, transformation, and change management. Sam is an alumnus of University of Aberdeen and University of Bristol in the UK. He's also a fellow of the Association of Certified Chartered Accountants, ACCA, and a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our speaker for today, Sam Afemikhe. Moving on to the second speaker, George Onekhena. Apologies, apparently we have Sam Afemikhe here. George Onekhena. George Onekhena is the Chief Executive Officer at Crown Consulting Services. He's a multidisciplinary professional with experience in regulation, corporate governance, financial reporting, financial reporting and strategic management. He has bachelor's and master's degrees in business administration from universities of Benin and Lagos, respectively. Higher diploma, Institute of Data Process Management, UK, and is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Currently, Chief Executive Officer, Crown Consulting Services, Morrisville, NC, USA. He was till January 2019 Deputy Commissioner, Finance and Administration for National Insurance Commission, Nigeria. Earlier in his career, he served in several executive and non-executive roles, including Managing Partner, George Andrews and Partners, Finance Director, the Lion of Africa Insurance Company Limited, Non-Executive Director and Chairman, Technical Oversight Committee, Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, Non-Executive Director, Financial Institute Training Center, FITC, Chairman, Lion Stockbrokers Limited, and Foundation Chairman of Corporate Finance Faculty, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. He currently coordinates value-adding communities of practice on strategic management and financial reporting, and has a number of Nigerian accountants on his private professional mentorship scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, let's also appreciate our second speaker for today, George Onekhena.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. Awesome stuff. So thank you very much. I wonder if we can just, Mr. George, I wonder if you can just sort of say a word before we jump right into it, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Are you with us? Your mic is muted, sir. Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Oh, technology. Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Sir. Loud and clear. Go for it, sir. Loud and clear. Yes.
Yeah. I want to thank BMAC for this support which they are offering. This is a significant event because I had this initiative. I mean, for the past 2 years, I've been running a lot of these webinars, and I got to a point where I said, this webinar is becoming a challenge. So I started shopping around for people that are going to support me. And luckily, the BMAC guys came to my rescue. So I want to thank the firm for this opportunity and support. And very interestingly, where I actually accepted to take their support is that as well they have something that's going to be interested to accountants. In these days where everybody's looking for an opportunity to earn some money, I see that they have a product that is going to offer opportunity for accountants to earn some money by being their partners. So I'm really happy to be here. I want to encourage you to participate actively, pick up your pen and paper, make your notes as you go through the session, and ask your questions. So, CEO.
Yes, sir.
Am I supposed to go on with my presentation or?
Just a moment. I just want to just, I think Steve is supposed to give us some housekeeping guidelines, and then we bring you in. Okay, so Steve, over to you.
So thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
We are glad to have you here, sir. We're looking forward to learning from you. Steve.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Wonderful, awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for dialing in. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, Mr. Sam, for the introduction. Thank you very much. So for us to have a wonderful time, for us to have an awesome time and learn, is the importance that we make sure that we put off our mics, we mute our mics. If you have questions, let us put it in the chat zone, and also let us chat responsibly. Let us chat and show some respect to those coordinating, and let us put off our video for us to have to hear the speakers well, and to enjoy the presentation and so on. Above this, besides this, if you have any other questions, let us put them in the chat zone. But people are responding to you in the chat box, so you can just put your name and your location, where you're dialing in from, for us to welcome you better. And that's it. So just stay calm and enjoy this wonderful time where we learn more. Thank you very much, everybody, and welcome to this webinar.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Stephen. Okay, so we're going to jump into it. Mr. George, I think your webinar is ready, so I'm going to stop. Your presentation is ready, so I'm going to stop sharing so you can take charge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my slides.
Go for it.
Let me just say before sharing my slides to say that this is a project I'm committed to, and I've said in the message I sent to the group that this project of strategic planning will go on until anybody who is interested is able to prepare his or her own business strategic plan as a professional. That's my commitment. So I'm going to be speaking for 25, 30 minutes, and I'm going to be using a speaking guide to make this presentation. In times like this, strategy becomes very, very critical. We all grew up in a world in which everything was easy. There was no competition. Whatever product you put out there, you can sell. You can make your money, or you know somebody who gives you business. But now everything is becoming very, very challenging. So the need for strategy has arisen. So I want to encourage you. I am, like I said, to help everybody who is a part of this program with preparing their strategic plan, as long as they are interested and they're ready to go along with me. So after this session, we are going to have other sessions. It will be an introductory session. I'm going to talk about a framework. I'm going to talk about what are the issues. I'm going to talk about what are the options. Now, you will get all that information here from the presentation I'm going to make. But beyond here, we are now going to now take it further to say, look, how do you prepare a document? How do you prepare our plan? So let me just share my slides. Now, this is the scope that we have. Sorry about the background noise from my dog. That's the problem with working from home.
Learn as well.
This is the scope that we have, and we are going to go through this scope. We are going to cover it in about 3 sessions. So after this, we're going to make some other arrangements, take another day where we're going to continue to look at the issues so that people would be able to now go and put something on paper and ask questions. I'm going to discuss with BMAC how we're going to handle those other sessions. So we need information on the framework for planning. I don't know whether you have read the IFAC paper on strategic planning. When you read the document, you see there are a lot of stuff there. One of the challenges in strategic planning is that there doesn't seem to be a standard. So you have different perspective on a number of issues. What I can tell you, it doesn't need to be so, because strategic planning is like taking a decision today where you want to go tomorrow. It's a decision-making tool, and you ask yourself, where are you? Where do you want to go? How do you get there? So the strategic plan is how you get there. So it's something we do all the time. What do you want? Where are you? How do you get it? Basically, that's what it's all about. So we are going to discuss a framework. There's a framework for doing this thing, and I will take you through the general business framework. There are 2 reasons why I'm doing this. Number one, we are going to extract what we want to do from the general. Number two, one of the areas where accountants and other professionals should be able to provide service is through providing strategic planning services. I feel that I can equip you with the knowledge and the experience which you need to provide this service to your clients, particularly the SMEs. So that's why we have to go through the general procedure. Then I'll talk about the firm. Now, I must tell you that we're in an era where speed is very, very important. Speed. Time waits for no one. So you have to create time. If you're interested in this, you have to create time for it so that you'll be able to move with speed. Because every hour, every day that passes, opportunities pass. They pass by. If you're not ready for them, then you don't get them. So we're going to look at the issues that need to be addressed in light of the current Nigerian situation, and we're going to look at the options. They're very, very straightforward, but I'm going to go through very, very quickly. So I have a commitment, which I've already told you. I have a commitment that this is going to be the first in a series of knowledge sharing sessions, and I'm ready to support you, whoever you are, in preparing your actionable plan. A lot of plans end up on the top of shelf. They don't use them. People don't use them. And that's why we don't have good planning practices generally, because people generally have not been using their strategic plan. So we have not learned from the practice of planning. So you have all sorts. Now I'll just this is the template I'm going to use very, very quickly. It's going to be quick. Corporate strategic planning, nature of dynamic strategic planning, monitoring the environment, impact, and adapting strategic planning to changing business conditions. Now, this is a message by one of the greatest authors of our time. This Gary Hamel has had a great influence on my life when it comes to my attitude strategy. After reading him in 220, my life and approach to issues changed. And I will tell you, this book, Leading the Revolution, is a manual, and it is timeless. you need to see what the guy said about Microsoft in 2002 and compare to what it is today. It's exactly what he said has happened to Microsoft. So this Gary Hammer is a great author. Go to YouTube, watch the video, listen to him. You just find your life will change. Now, in that sense here that if you want to escape from the cul-de-sac of diminishing returns, and the first step is to admit that your current strategy, your beloved business model may be running out of steam. Strategy decay is not something that might happen. It is something that is happening. Working ever harder to improve the efficiency of a worn-out strategy is ultimately futile. Now, this is a very fundamental statement he makes. Yeah, he made 2002 when he wrote his book. It's irrelevant today. So you have your current strategy, you have your current model, and all models, all strategies run out of steam. I don't need to tell you that you're already seeing the impact of what's happening in Nigeria. So your strategy either has not decayed or is decaying. So now I tell people, and this is what I'm going to tell you, I said, if you have not been making effort, if you have not been reading, you have not been learning, you have not making effort to strengthen improve your knowledge in the past 3 years, if you want to be learning now, you have to have a lifestyle change. And that means how you spend your time. You're going to behave as if you have the exam to write and you are back to school. Now, when you want to spend time the way you have been spending your time, and you're not spending time to learn what you should learn, you're not doing anything other than deceiving yourself. So you don't start trying to learn about strategy. You don't have to learn about things you need to learn by doing so when you have extra time and when you are already tired and feeling sleepy. So the first message you're going to learn about strategy is about speed, it's about competition, it's about knowing what you will do and what you will not do. That's simply what it is. For some, if the people you are relating with do not tell you that you have, oh, what's happening? You have changed, then it means that you have not changed. So that's the first single message you get from this. You need to change the way you spend your time. If you're not spending your time to learn, because see, the world has changed, the world is changing, and a lot of people are living in the past. COVID-19 has come, and everybody's expecting, the normal is not disruption. When one thing finishes, you think you are getting the rest, another happens. It is our time to live with the challenges of living in a changing world. Now, the need for strategy has always been acknowledged. What is missing is its effective use, right? Now, the challenge we have today now has been, we are now living in a world where things are becoming dynamic, increasingly complex. Some people call it VUCA world. When Omicron came, somebody was saying, which one is this Omicron? I say, welcome to a VUCA world. You see, you have been hit from all ends. Political problem, security problem, population problem. In fact, the only areas where you have, 2 areas where you have good news is that technologies are valuable to make this easier. 2, we have certain areas of human activity that you can be sure you can make money from because you have the population. Food, health, education, and safety. These areas, they create a large volume of activity, because people must feed, people must go to school, people must have house, people must be safe. So, and the segment of society that are providing these businesses are the SMEs, the informal sector. So you have opportunities there. But the question is, how do you make use of the opportunity? So it's very, very important you understand this, that the new world is not, there's nothing like next new normal. Right? There's not like a normal in the sense of, oh, it's a normal. You have continuing, pitiless, unrelenting disruption every day. If you wake up tomorrow, you put on your TV, you hear something different. So we have to be on our feet. I repeat, we have to be on our feet. When I see the way people operate in Nigeria, they're just slow. We are slow. We are just slow. You know, what we do, the same thing we used to do, in the past. Everybody has been disrupted. A lot of your skills have been people have been skilled. Now, what is strategic management? Strategic management is planning, directing, organizing, and controlling of the strategy-related decisions and actions of a business. Strategy-related decisions, and what does strategy mean? Strategy refers to what are the options adopted by an entity, you, your business, and organization, as basis for interacting with the competitive environment in order to achieve your set goals and objectives. You see, what option have you adopted as a basis for interacting with the environment? You are living in an environment. That's what it's all about. If you ask me, you say, what business are you going to do? What market are you going to operate with? How are you going to compete? That's the essence of strategy. So strategic management is about those strategy-related decisions and actions you have to take in your business. That's what it is. Now it has two aspects: formulation and implementation. One of the areas where we have gaps is that we do not pay attention to implementation. So in the process of formulation is the process of choosing the most appropriate course of action for realizing the organization's goals and objectives. That's what it is. Implementation, putting your strategy into action. This is where we have gaps. People are not been putting strategy into action. People go on retreat. After that, they prepare a document. After that, you don't hear about that document again. But I'll tell you, the time, all those retreat-based documents, some of them are just not it. You are now in a dynamic world where you go on a retreat the following week. What you put in that retreat, maybe 10 or 15% of it is gone. Another 3 months, everything you decided is no longer relevant. So we are now in a dynamic world. Things are changing. So all those retreat-based strategies, they are becoming out of date. As of course, we are in a business where things are not changing. Now, what you find out is that strategic management requires certain processes and analytical tools. You see, processes and analytical tools. What you find out in the literature is that there are various processes and tools, but each person, all these tools are not applicable to every organization equally and in terms of relevance. But what you find out in practice is that people just use these tools anyhow. So the first thing you want to do in strategic management is to say, what processes are you going to follow? Which tools are relevant to your needs? That's the first thing every organization should do. Some people, when they go on the retreat, they put on those SWOT analysis. But that's a different matter. That one we are going to deal with in a special session. Some of those things we do, they don't make sense. So they don't make sense. And when we go to, you see, we are just doing it. So if you have options in processes, if you have options in tools, then you have to choose the ones that are relevant to you. Then also, now, that's why the first message you get is that for your organization, you have to say, what is your strategic management policy? Your strategic management policy contains the processes and tools and practices that you have chosen to as relevant to you for strategic management purposes. That's the first message I'm going to give to you. So the first thing you need is a strategic management policy. Just like as an accountant, you have accounting policies. So you have HR policy, you have production policy. So you need to have a strategic management policy where you are going to have what are the processes, what are the tools, what is going to be the role of everybody in the organization, all the departments in strategic management. They must know. Indeed, strategic management role has to be added into the job description of most, if not all, employees in the organization. Did you hear me say all employees? Yes, all employees. Because in a VUCA world, a disruptive world, strategy is everybody's business. But you just have to let somebody know what their role is. The area where I say strategy is for the big guys to go on retreat. Go and stay. So people are tired of they are discussing, they come and say they are doing strategy. That era is gone. Now, one of the most important issues in management thought is whether strategy can be formulated, planned, or whether given a changing environment, strategic management can be perceived as clearly sequenced activity. Now, I have explained to you in a dynamic world. Now, you can plan your strategy, but your plan strategy will not be the one that you are going to achieve. Why? Because changes will take place. When changes take place, some of the things you have planned to do, you will drop them, you will not do them. There's some of the things you do not plan to do, you will do them. This is not like sin and this is not like people do what they're not supposed to do. But you have your plan, which you have arranged, then you are monitoring the environment, when things change, some of the things you say you are going to do, you will drop them. Then you now look at the environment, what is new you can do, you add. So you have intended strategy, you have achieved strategy. So the difference between your intended strategy, your intended strategy is A, your unapplied strategy is B, your unplanned, or what they call it, emergent strategy is C, to give you your achieved strategy D. Minus B, what you did not do, plus C, what you plan to do, you did not do, that's what will give you your D. That is a formula to capture the issue of planned and intended strategy. Now, I've already told you about all those tools. Now, let us look at strategy formulation. Here, we are choosing the most appropriate course of action for the realization of organizational goals. Your mission and vision, right? At the corporate level, what does it involve? You are going to be setting your goals, right? You are going to be determining which market to compete in and what product to offer. You are going to be determining the combination of business units and product lines. We are going to also choose how to compete. Now, these are the things that are decided at corporate level, right? Now, let me tell you, there are two clear types of strategies you have here. You have what they call the corporate strategy and the business strategy, or the corporate strategy and the competitive strategy. The corporate strategy is where you decide where you want, what market you want to operate in, what products you want to provide, and what kind of relationship you want to have with other entities. Do you want to have joint ventures? Do you want to have alliances and so on? Or do you want to merge? Those are just corporate strategy. While the business strategy, or what some people would call competitive strategy, now is now strategy where you have to, how you going to compete in your chosen market. So one is about what you will do and what you will not do, corporate strategy. The other one is how are you going to compete in the market. So when you hear about competitive strategy, that is how do you compete, or business strategy, how do you compete? Corporate strategy, where do you operate? What product do you offer? What market do you operate in? And what kind of relationship you have with organization? Now, what in the strategy formulation process, what do? You have a diagnosis of the context in which you operate. You have to look at you have to do your environmental analysis. Right? Right? Now, when you do your environmental analysis, you understand what the external environment is. That is the environmental analysis. There are two broad dimensions of environmental analysis. You have the external environmental analysis, and you have the internal environmental analysis. The external environmental analysis is outside you as an organization. The internal is you, your own system and processes. Now, what strategy entails? Don't forget what I've told you. Strategy is how do you want to relate to the environment? How do you want to relate to the environment? So you are supposed to do it's a matching process. What does the environment want? What can you offer? They say, if you decide to say, oh, environment, you want to provide product ABC for the environment, you now ask, do you have what it takes to provide it? Then if you don't have what it takes to provide it, can you acquire it? It is that thing you need to acquire to provide what you need to provide the environment. That is part of you need to have a plan for. How do you acquire it? Now, let me say something here. So if you are going to have your external environment, I know we have issues with time. Please, we are going to continue this discussion later because you need to understand this thing properly. And you have the internal environment. Now, if you want to compare them, you must be able to have a common terms. Because the external environment is structured differently. Your internal environment is structured in its own way. You also have a way of comparing the two. That's one of the critical questions you should be asking yourself in strategic planning. How do you put these two elements, these two dimensions on the same basis to be able to compare? That's a question people don't ask now when you do all this your SWOT analysis. When they ask, you want to compare two things, they must be on the same basis. So what you have to do is say, you look at what does you do environmental analysis. You now have to translate the conclusion from environmental analysis into the form and met into a form on basis of issues, on the basis of requirements that you can compare with your internal environment to find out what you need to get to do what you want to do in the environment. If what the environment you want to do in the environment, you cannot get it, then it means that you have to disregard it. But if you have chosen to provide something that the environment wants, then you have to say, how do you get what it requires to get it? Now, the key to this thing is that when you have done a review of your external environment, you have to denominate them first into critical success factors. And those critical success factors have to be on the same basis as your internal factors. So this is the first message you are going to get. I'm not sure you find this in a lot of what people have told you on strategy. So that's what. So that's the first message you are going to get. You're going to be comparing between your external environmental analysis and your internal environment. The external environment, they are on different bases. There are different dimensions of it, different aspects of it, different perspectives of it. Your internal environment has its own basis too. And here there are also two. For example, one way of looking at your internal environment is to say your current strategy, your structure, your style, management style, your staffing, your shared values, right? And things like that. So if you want to compare your internal environment with the external environment, you must be able to determine what are the requirements of what those requirements of the external environment. What do they need? What do they need from strategy, structure, systems, staffing, skills, shared value. But that's what they're going to be comparing. That's what they're going to be comparing. So you have to convert the analysis of your external environment in such a way you can compare to all this. Of course, you also have capital. So your environmental analysis, when you look at the external environment, you have to now say, you have to now denominate those requirements into the form that can compare. For example, one of the things we get from external environment is opportunities. Then also, so you now say, what does it take? What does it take to explore this opportunity? Right? Oh, you have to open a branch. You have to open more branches in Port Harcourt, in South. That's an opportunity, for example. So, you can see what I'm saying. Now, you cannot just say that. You have to now say what are the requirements of that opportunity. What are the critical success factors to grab that opportunity? You are going to list them in terms of strategy, structure, systems, and all that. So it is when you now compare the two, now the difference between what you have and what is required will now tell you what you need to have. Right? Those things you need to have to be able to explore that opportunity, right? They become strategic issues to you. Those are the issues you have to deal with. So one of the things you need to get from doing your environmental analysis is to come up with the issues. So I've just given you, so those issues you see, you now look at the issues and I say, look, in the light of these things you have seen, these issues, you say, oh, the vision you have before, those things, vision, what you have aspiring, is it still relevant? If it's still relevant, no problem. It helps you get your vision, no problem. So vision remains the same. But if it's not relevant, you change it. You change it. So your vision can change. Your mission statement they don't need to change, but in the VUCA world, mission statement can change. Because if you have an opportunity that you want to take advantage of, and you feel that, then you find that, oh, the reason why you exist has changed. So why you exist is going to change. You're going to change your mission statement. Your mission is why you exist. And your vision is what you aspire in that existence. So one of the things that comes out of environmental analysis, we are analyzing the environment, is to ask yourself whether, in the light of what you now know about the environment, whether your vision is still relevant. If not, you change it. If necessary, you have to go to Corporate Affairs Commission to go and change your articles and memorandum of association. Because if you are a bank now, you feel like you want to go and go into insurance, then you have to go and assume that those are things you can. You have to go and now change your articles and say, oh, I want to add insurance. They change your mission statement. I'm now a bank and insurance company. We come up with a culture where people say, oh, mission has to be short. So you go and check mission statements of organizations. So they don't communicate what they actually do, why they exist. But that's one of the problems you have in strategic management. Some people came up with all those decorative way of presenting these things. Decorate, not stylish. Oh, good to hear. But when you are doing your strategy, internally, if you tell your staff those things, so those people don't make any meaning to staff. They don't make any meaning to customers. So your mission should say exactly why you exist. That's the definition. Your vision is what you aspire to do. Now, in between them, so I'm taking my time because I want you to get these things clear. In between them, you also have values. You also have values. Are your values going to change from the environment? Those are some of the issues we need to look at. What issues we need to look at. So, but your values, they have to change. So I want to take a break here. And we are going to continue on another date where we are going to take about a longer time. You give me sufficient notice, longer time. And you have to, I think this one is going to be by weekend, either or a Saturday or Sunday. We have to continue this this discussion. But I hope I'll be able to explain the role of environmental analysis and internal environment analysis to you. Thank you very much. Over to you, headquarters.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, sir. So many amazing nuggets there. You've pretty much taken some of my points. But it's good because it means that we will fly through it fairly quickly. I mean, I love the VUCA points about VUCA. I love the points about strategic management policy. A lot of people don't have a policy for strategy. And so it's very important. And I'm going to sort of explain how, mission, can be converted into profits in my slides, how mission can be converted into profits. Okay, so Steve, please, can you drive us for the next 5 minutes real quick? Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you, George, sir. Thank you, sir. Steve, over to you.
Yeah, hello. Oh,
Hi, Stephen.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, just the sorry, Sam, I didn't hear what you said. Can you come?
Are you ready with your polls, please?
Yes, I am.
Okay, shoot. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you, Mr. George, for that interesting first. I'm going to be launching the poll now. Please, everyone, let's just pick an answer. It's just going to run for about 3 minutes. So let's just speak. He said SMPs are very important to SMEs as they serve as key advisors to them. With the growing sizes and needs of SMEs, do you think SMPs are ready to embrace digital transformation and that of their SME clients? Let's answer these questions.
This is a very interesting poll because it speaks to the heart of what we're doing here today. I really believe that SMPs should be at the heart of the transformation of Nigerian businesses because they have the skills, they have the knowledge, but are they ready? So it's a very good question. Are they ready?
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Just 1 more minute. Why a lot of people are taking this poll. About 21 people now. Let us 24 people. So yeah. So I'll share the results now. Thank you very much for all those that participated. Over to you. I see you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this poll speaks very directly to the heart of what we are doing here today. And I'm just going to share my screen so that you can see my presentation. Okay, I need to, yes, there it is. Okay, so this is my presentation. Okay, thank you very much. So again, my name is Sam Afemikhe, and I'm the co-founder CEO of ikOOba Technologies. And we are, I mean, one of the things that we do here in ikOOba is to help businesses grow. That's what we're committed to doing. I've been an accountant now for almost 15 years, and in that time, I've worked with various types of organizations. I've worked with in multinational organizations. I've worked with government organizations. I've also worked with medium-sized businesses and small businesses. And one thing is consistent amongst all these businesses. It's the desire to grow. It's the desire to do well. Nobody gets into business for charity. And so as an accountant and as an accountant in practice, I always ask myself, and I know it's been a constant conversation amongst my professional colleagues, how do we help businesses grow? How do we position ourselves, closer to the heart of businesses, especially in a challenging environment like Nigeria? And because of that, we took up a mission in ikOOba, and that's one of the things that Mr. George spoke about. He spoke about mission, And I wish you could see my wall right now. I've written my mission, our company's mission on my wall. And our mission is to help businesses grow, become profitable, and most importantly, sustainable through digital technology. And so I think it's important for small, medium practices to have a mission, and also critically to embrace technology. And I'm here to share a little bit about what the technology that we've built and how we are, and some of the things we're doing to partner with accountants in this mission to help businesses grow. I tell people that businesses are Nigeria's Noah's Ark. And if we had successful businesses, you would not have the social ills you had, because people would be gainfully employed. Okay, so we need businesses. But guess what? The small, medium-sized practices, the professional colleagues on this call, you guys are the prophets of business. Okay, you are the pastors of business in a sense. Okay, so I'll just jump straight into it. Thank you very much. So I'll just be talking about a few things. I'm going to be talking about starts with why, RY, and SMPs why. I'm going to be introducing you to BMAC Apps and Services, some of the things that we've done, and I'll show you who it's for, and I'll talk about a few of the features that BMAC Apps have. I'll also introduce the BMAC Partner Program, and I will show you how it works and how you can benefit from it, because we created this program directly for people like you on this call. So without much further ado, there's a book I love very much. It's a book called Start With Why by a guy called Simon Sinek. And he says that a lot of people, most organizations start with what? They start with what they do. If you go to a party or you go to a function, typically you say, oh, what do you do? It's the first thing. But really the question they should be starting with is why, okay? There's a law in engineering where it says that, if you see anyone and you ask them why, you keep asking them why 5 times, you will get to the root cause of a thing. And so it's important to understand why. So for small, medium-sized practices, what is our why? What is your why? We shouldn't just stay at the level of what we do. We shouldn't just stay at the level of, oh, I provide tax services. Oh, I provide accounting services. We should go deeper. For us in ikOOba, we've gone deeper, and we've said we are committed, dedicated to helping businesses grow and become profitable, and most importantly, sustainable. Now, there's something, this is called the ikOOba chart graph, and it speaks to what we do, and not just what we do, but why we do it, okay? And the ikOOba framework basically talks about data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. I love the chart on the right-hand side where you see data, you see all these dots, okay? So there are 6 compartments, and you see all these dots, okay? Every business you see or you come across exists in one of these dots, okay? So a business transacts, let's say the business buys and sells cement, okay? And so they've been doing this for 3-4 years. Do they have the requisite level of wisdom, okay, in the way they run their business? And so what we've committed to doing in ikOOba is to help businesses to move from data to information, from information to knowledge. In other words, connecting the dots. Far too many business people do not, see the value in data, the value in information. When Mr. George was speaking about strategy without data is lost. Strategy must be based on data. How much did I sell today versus last year? What is my profit? Simple things like this, but the challenge is obviously language and so on and so forth. And in the last corner is conspiracy theory, where you have the dots and people just draw things on it. And You can see a lot of entrepreneurs and business people in Nigeria exist in that place. Show me a successful entrepreneur, whether it's a Dangote, whether it's an Adenuga, whether it's an Alakija, whether it's a Otumba at Honeywell, and I will show you a person who has systems and processes that connects the dots. And so at ikOOba, we are trying to help businesses connect the dots. And so my question to SMPs is, how can they help businesses move from data to wisdom? It's not just, remember, it's not just the standard tax and audit services, or just like, or even accounting service, producing management accounts. How can we help them make sense of the activities? And that's what we're all about here. So I just want to introduce to you what we've done in order to fulfill this mission, BMAC Apps and Services. So BMAC Apps are meant for 3 people. When we built this solution, our various solutions, we built it for 3 people. At the heart of our design are business owners and entrepreneurs. The world, I said it before and I'll say it again, but in my opinion, the world revolves around entrepreneurs, okay? It's the reason why you say, oh, this man is the richest man in the world, that one person's the richest man in the world, the richest woman in the world, or whatever it is. Secondly, we built this solution for small, medium-sized practices, accountants like yourself. I'm an accountant and my team are accountants, and we've come together to pour our experience and our knowledge, listening to various people, including accountants, to come up with these solutions. And you'll see what they do in the end as we go along. Thirdly, we built this solution for investors and lenders. It's full circle because a business exists to make profit, but you cannot grow your business if you don't get requisite finance. Finance comes from either equity or debt, but neither the bank manager or the equity investor will give you a dime if you don't have track record, clearly. So our goal and our job has been to help businesses to get to a point where they can generate their records so that people like investors can have confidence in their business, amongst other things. So BMAC Apps. So we have a number of very interesting solutions. The first one we created as BMAC Accounting. And BMAC Accounting is a cloud accounting solution, very easy to use. And it has over 20 easy to understand charts and graphs to help interpret business performance. It has 14 downloadable accounting reports in PDF and Excel format, a highly customizable chart of accounts. And interesting enough, and this is my best part, the best tool in this toolbox, is a collaborator tool. As an accountant or as a small medium practice, your client using BMAC Accounting can collaborate with you, okay? Now, the trick and the benefit for you is that you can actually serve 5, 10, 20, 50 customers or 50 businesses from your living room or from your bedroom or from your office. You've gone out the days of you having to take long trips to your customers' sites. You just sit down, as long as you have the information, either written in a notebook, another feature in the app, or the information sent to you by email or whatnot. You can log on the information, or they log on the information, and then you can flip between various businesses. Okay, and so it's a very, very powerful tool, that can help you to easily manage several accounts. And we also have a mobile application for this software. It's called the BMAC Assistant, and I'll talk more about it a little bit later on. Secondly, we designed the BMAC Inventory Management application, and it's meant to help retailers and wholesalers record and manage everything around their inventory. As you know, Nigeria is a major trading nation, and so we do a lot of buying and selling. And so we built this app to be able to help those people. And specifically, it helps manage suppliers, daily sales, daily purchases, store transfers, and so much more. It also has many reports how much profit per day, how much profit per stock line, and so on and so forth. You can begin to see that with tools like this, your users or your customers can begin to understand and get a better picture about how well or not they're doing. It just gives so much more clarity, so much more clarity. It has 13 different reports with quick view sales dashboard, smart invoicing. We have there's an offline application because this is online, this is in the cloud. And it has, so we have an offline version. So if you don't have internet, then we have a multi-branch capacity. So if you have 3 stores, one in Abuleba, another one in Onekhena, another one in Pori, something like that, you can use the application to manage all stores from one location. And this also works with the BMAC Assistant application. I apologize, I'm rushing. I'm just trying to catch up with the time. Please feel free to ask your questions in the chat box. My colleagues will answer them or will take Q&A shortly. And then this is something I'm really excited about, guys. We have a POS inventory application being launched very, very soon. Now, this is a mobile version of the inventory management system. It's lighter, it's faster, and it's mobile, okay? And this has, so you have the mobile app, and then you have a kind of central command, where you can see what happens. And so you can make sales, you can manage, make sales, track your inventory right there on the go. You can install it on your Android device, or we have special devices that help you print out receipts as well. So that's coming out very soon, and we're really excited about it. Team have been working really hard to get this out, but we want to get it just right when it comes out. Again, targeting retail and wholesale entrepreneurs. We also have, so I talked about the BMAC Assistant. That's the interface right there. But we also have something very interesting, the invoicing application. One of the things that I noticed is that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small businesses, and maybe sometimes medium-sized businesses don't keep records in terms of making sales. And so it's important to introduce them to a tool like this. This is the BMAC invoicing app. And the best part of the BMAC invoicing app, it's absolutely free. It has a lot of amazing features. You can bill in different currencies. There's a dashboard. You can send reminders to people who you issued invoices to, and then you can also set up you can get paid by a Paystack or Flutterwave as well. It's free. It's a desktop version. It's absolutely free. You can check it out on our website. I think this website is invoice.onebmac.com. And this one is just complimentary, but it's very useful to use. So that said, we have come up with a program, okay? Because Nigeria has 40 million micro, small, and medium-sized entrepreneurs. And we want to reach as many businesses as possible. If Nigeria is to survive, okay, and if businesses are critical to the survival of the business of Nigeria, then it's important that we should help businesses as much as possible. But we can't do it by ourselves, okay? We're just, 10, 12 people. But when we collaborate, when we work with professional colleagues like yourself, we are able to reach more businesses, okay? There's that popular saying that say 1 will chase 1,000 and 2 will chase 10,000. So this is really, leveraging that math. And it's a win-win revenue sharing program designed with your success in mind, as well as the business's success as well. So what is the BMAC Partner Program? It's simple. We are creating a win-win situation through strong partnership. You recall, the people that we referred to earlier on. We have the entrepreneur and we have the accountant. And our goal is to help 100,000 businesses digitize some or all of their operations, reporting, and decision-making by 2030. And so to do so, okay, we want to partner with professional colleagues. So what's the benefit? Businesses become stronger because they're using systems, they're digitizing their processes. And our partners win by earning extra income and growing a network of businesses and partners, acquiring new skills, new digital skills in this digital age. We are a technology business and we are dedicated to doing things, doing things with technology. But we'll meet you where you are, okay? We'll meet you where you are. So what does how does the partner program work? Very simple. We have 5 performance categories, okay? 5 performance categories. The first one is called the basic. Once you're a partner, with any revenue that comes in from a referral to a client or a friend or associate in your network, you get 20% of that. So if someone subscribes to a BMAC application for 100,000, you get 20,000 of that. Okay. If the next package is the bronze, and if a referral subscribes to a package of 25 of over 350,000 to 550,000, you get a quarter of that revenue. Okay. And so if, for example, someone subscribes to BMAC packages all worth 500,000, you get a quarter of that, which is 125,000 naira. A quarter of that is yours, okay, as an appreciation to that our mission. The next one after that is the silver package. And similar to the basic and the bronze, if you get a business to subscribe to any of our packages or group of our packages, okay, between 550 and 750, you get a third of that, you get 30% of that, okay? So if, for example, someone subscribes to BMAC Apps and Services, paying 600,000 for an annual subscription of the accounting and the inventory as an example, and pay 600,000, you get a third of that, which is 200,000 naira. Okay. The same thing applies to the gold. You get the picture. And the thing what's really, really exciting is the platinum package. Okay. A platinum package. When you subscribe, when a person you refer subscribes to BMAC Apps and Services or to our bespoke development offer, over $1 million naira, you're entitled to 40% of that. Okay, that's so if someone paid $1 million naira, a business, a medium-sized business, wanting to digitize their processes, with support and so on and so forth, $1 million naira, you get 400,000 naira. Okay, and so the idea here is really to inject momentum, to inject support towards helping businesses grow. If businesses are supposed to achieve their real potential, they have to move from data to knowledge. They have to move from data to information, to knowledge, to wisdom. And these tools we've created, I couldn't go through all the features, but these tools we've created do so much. I mean, imagine being able to see your profits per product or your profit per day or your profit per branch, that is available on the IMS. And then imagine, having to being able to see, we have this, this matrices that we have in the accounting. I think the word escapes me now, but it gives you a lot of analytical information that you can help. You working with your partner can help the businesses make better decisions. So we're really excited about these things, and we're really going all out. Businesses must not fail. Businesses must succeed. They must succeed with technology. And the world is going global, and we won't be last. We will not carry last. So what are the benefits of the BMAC Partner Program to small, medium practices, my professional colleagues, my brothers and sisters, my mommies and daddies, aunties on this call? First is extra income. Okay, we've shown you the revenue sharing platform. And so, that's something that is a benefit to you. Secondly, there's multi-client functionality, especially with the accounting application. As a practice, you are able to do more with less. I'll repeat, you're able to do more with less. Being able to serve, if you could only serve 2-3 clients, with digitizing your processes, you can multiply that by 10. Okay, that's what they call the 10x rule. But you can do that with technology. Secondly, you can deliver third, you can deliver higher value added services. So it's not just simply the basics of management accounts and tax services, and those are good, those are necessary. But can we go higher? Can we go to 3? Can we go 3-4 levels higher? And in terms of, okay, this product is not profitable, or this service is not profitable, or have you considered addressing this cost head? Or what about liquidity? Your liquidity ratio isn't looking too well. It looks like you're over geared, okay, and things like this. Fourthly, there are free upgrades and enhancements. So once you're signed in, you don't have to come back and download anything now. As we upgrade the systems, you and the clients get free upgrades on enhancements. We'll soon be having a professional network coming up. So look out for that. That's another benefit of this program. And you move to digital. Okay, you digitize your processes. And I didn't talk about what we call a consistency bonus on the revenue share scheme. And it basically means that if you stay within a particular performance gap 2 consecutive quarters, you get a 5% revenue share, on top of your additional revenue brought in. And then we're also performing more training and capacity development in terms of tech, in terms of consulting, in terms of digital marketing, and so on and so forth. We consider you a part of the family, and we run several programs, even strategy. We run several programs just for our partners. So how does it work? Very simple, 4 simple steps. Register, BMACPartnerProgram.com. That's where you find information and you can join. BMACPartnerProgram.com. That's PROGRAM. Secondly, refer BMAC apps and services to your friends, your clients. We have lots of information that about what BMAC is and BMAC, the various tools and how they can help. So there's data, there's information, and we will send you information on how on whatever you need to tell the story or to inform people. And then once they agree to come on BMAC, we work with you to onboard the client, so to onboard the customer. Okay, onboarding is very important because it's not a plug and play. No accounting system is a plug and play. But we're working towards it. So we have to onboard them, and once they're onboarded and we see that they're getting value, we can now earn that, and that is basically how the partner program works. So I want to thank you very much for listening to us, myself and Mr. George. That's my little bit done. And I'm happy. I'm here to take any questions, but I see a lot of people from all over Nigeria, and I'm really genuinely grateful that to have you guys here. The only way we'll have a successful Nigeria is when we have all Nigeria, from different parts of the country come together, working hand in hand. So if you're from Calabar, from Anambra, from Ondo, from Ogun, from Lagos, I salute you. Thank you very much. I'm Sam Afemikhe. I will hand this over to Stephen. Stephen, over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sam, for that insightful presentation on how SMPs can leverage on BMAC Apps and Services, the BMAC Partner Program. Well, we can see that it's actually a win-win situation, and we ensure that businesses do not suffer. And I stand with what you said about that we will not stop. We help businesses. We help a lot of businesses, and that is actually the goal. Before we take questions, I can see Dr. Godson's is raising up his hand, but let us go to the second poll, and we shall take questions. Launch the second poll. now. So how do you feel about emerging technologies and the accountancy profession? It will replace accountancy, few opportunities for solving problems creatively. It's more a threat than an opportunity. It's an opportunity and not a threat. So let us start this before we take questions. Okay, simple answering already. How do you feel about technology and the accountancy profession? I think this was if you would correct me, I think this was the last theme of the ICANN conference. Accountancy and
Absolutely. Absolutely, and it's going to be a more important topic going forward. And accountants, we need to position ourselves. It's not going away. I was listening to a podcast yesterday about the accounting for cryptocurrencies. So the CPAs in America are already considering how to classify and how to record, classify, and report the buying, selling, appreciation or depreciation of cryptocurrency. So this is something that's very, very important.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, sir. Very, very important. I'll be rounding up the poll now, sharing the results. So I have some questions. I have a question already in the chat zone. But Dr. Godson has raised up his hand also. So I'll just session over to my colleague, Damilola, to have it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for
Thanks,
coming.
Steve.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you, Mr. George, for your presentation. Thank you, Mr. Sam, for your presentation. And we have just one question, and then there's also Dr. Godson raising his hand. So I'm just going to allow Dr. Godson ask his own question. Fantastic. Before I'll read the, yes.
Okay, so.
Mr. Godson.
Yes, you can go for it now, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
we
sir.
can hear you, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you for having me on. I must appreciate the organizers for this, insightful presentations you have done. First of all, I want to comment on what Chief George said, and then I get back to ask my questions now on the apps and their software. So that's the two approaches I want to use. First one, I think what the challenge you have on this strategy is that a lot of people, copy what others say in terms of the mission, their vision, and their core values. They just copy what they see people writing without having a deep understanding, a kind of introspection that, look, do we really believe in this? So there is, more often than not, there is no originality. So that is why some people copy it. In fact, even some who are going for certification, ISO certification, they just copy what others have written. And that is why it's not working. So I thank Chief George for what he has done. I feel like all of us on this call will spread the message that strategy is not something you copy other people's own. You sit down and think out what you want to do. Have a future. Strategy is usually a long-term objective. Thank you. I'll stop there. Then let me go to the software. I'm so much enamored hearing that BMAC is having an accounting software, and what you are going, what the kind of things you are presenting, including the apps. But the quick questions I want to ask: one, what is different, you are offering from what others are doing? Especially if we have even softwares like that developed internationally, like even DEX accounting software, and so many of them. Some who would say they want to take the burden of keying in the data into your system. They will do it, and then all you do is just to be sending them maybe the papers, the source documents, the dockets you have generated. Now, that is one. Two is, I hear you say you will be on the onboarding. That onboarding process, is it onboarding for their partners or for the, the customers or clients who eventually will be using the software? I want to believe that if the first onboarding should be between you and the partners, so that they will really understand you and then be able to communicate and sell the product, to prospective customers or clients. Then I also want to ask, this software, does it have modules? Like I hear you say, inventories and all the rest. So maybe payroll. Does it have all of them integrated? Then again, is it IFRS compliant? And from what you said, it appears it's user friendly, but I need you to confirm that that is user friendly and is something that we can, somebody, especially the customers. Let's take a typical stock, a typical trader who has a shop, selling little things, who has no, say, doesn't have even secondary school knowledge or something. Let's say the person has a primary education. Is this something that can easily use, so that we know the category of people the apps your products are for? Or is it for, I agree that you still talk about SMP, but can we cascade it down the line so that we know the category, the minimum and the maybe the maximum, within the nets that you want to capture. So absolutely. I want to stop here to give others opportunity to ask.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your question. I really, really appreciate them. I wonder if Mr. George is going to take this question on strategy, but I will answer your questions whilst Mr. George is sorting out his dog. So your first question was, what is the difference between our applications and other applications? We have a number of, it's a competitive field, I admit, but I will say, sorry about that. But I will say that we have quite a number of features, so many features that are different from other applications. So for example, we are working currently on having a bulk upload of transactions into our BMAC accounting. We also have full IFRS. So I'll just answer that question. We have full IFRS statements, so it's IFRS compliant. Okay, and it's also an application that is very flexible. Okay. So it has a very flexible chart of accounts. What we've seen in the marketplace is that there are a lot of adulterated, fake Sage, fake QuickBooks versions. This is not an adulterated application. This was designed and built by us here, and we are still continuing to improve on it. And we have lots of reports. So there are very many, there are more reports than your standard application, because what we've done is that we've taken a broad sample of, the Nigerian businesses and what typically they prefer to see. Okay, and we've created a lot of reports for each application that is cutting across our accounting and our inventory management application. Similarly, there's what we call the notebook feature. And that's something that we're really excited about. The notebook feature allows the user to key in information free form, okay? And so when the business owner collaborates with you, the accountant, you just take that data and it's posted into, you can post it into the ledgers, okay? And then clearly it's cloud-based, okay? So you're able to access it from anywhere at any time. You don't have to carry your laptop. Once you leave your laptop, you can go to any other laptop. As long as you have your password and your username, you can log on and see what's going on. I want to address the issue of onboarding you spoke about. And so in the context of the 4 steps I spoke about, the onboarding was referring to the businesses that subscribe to BMAC app or apps. That said, I should have said that there's going to be an onboarding process for partners that sign up, for partners that have joined us. Okay, so we are going to we issue out a virtual welcome bag, with a special note for myself, and we also explain. We also have lots of tutorials and webinars and videos that show how to use the application. So it's useful to see that. And then if we see that there is demand, we will hold a session like this where we'll take you through a live demo. Okay, we have great guys who give great demos, but we're all PCs here. You can log on to onebmac.com. You can sign up yourself and you can test drive any of the applications yourself. Okay, and that goes to answer your last question. It is user friendly. We have so many testimonials. I'll get my guys to send you, and maybe everyone here, some testimonials of people who have used the application. In terms of the level of education or awareness you need to have, clearly you need to have some level of understanding of computers, okay? But if you don't, it's not hard to grasp. Like I said, as I was finishing my talk, we will not take last. We are not going to take last. So if there is a gap in the ability to use it, my team and I are willing to work with you to help your clients close that gap. We will not take last. We have to enter the 21st century kicking, and if it means kicking and screaming, but we will meet you where you are. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. And Mr. George, he asked a question about strategy, and if you can please take it, I'd appreciate it, sir. You are muted. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Godson, thank you.
I think you just made a comment. What I just need to say is that you see what has happened as far as strategy is concerned. We have what I would call practice that require significant improvement, because we have not really been doing things right. Like people just copy things, and we had a number of people who came into the field, and came up with all kinds of designer ideas, which has now turned out not to have helped anybody. So I'm happy we are discussing this. And one of the reasons why I set up the strategy forum is for us to correct all these practices, to get people to doing what they should do. So as we go through this exercise, this program, I will to show to the participants the way things should be done, so that they can also spread the gospel. There's a logic in what should be done in strategy, and that logic helps in making a sense of what we do, and what with that logic. Thank you.
If I might add, thank you so much, George, sir. If I might add, sir, one of the things that I love to say about strategy, and I said it at my first slide, starts with why. Again, you can check it. There's the principle of the 5 whys. Google it. It's a real term in engineering. Always ask yourself why, okay? Okay, so I want to do this. Why? Okay, I'm passionate about this. Why? And that will help you to identify or identify your North Star, or where you're beginning with your mission, and then you can tease out your strategy from there. As Mr. George explained, you have to look at your environment, do an environmental analysis as well. Okay, and then so it's not just an external environment, it's an internal environment. That's where you talk about, okay, your strengths and your weaknesses, as he said, and then your opportunities and your threats, which are external. So these are the things that will help you in terms of couching your own strategy, and you must own your strategy. You own your own strategy. Thank you very much. Danny, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Godson, for your question. There's also one last question for the CEO. I'm just going to read it now. The question is from Babatunde, from Mr. Babatunde. It says, excellent presentation by Chief George. Thank you, sir. And thank you, BMAC, as well. Does your software handle multi-currency account reporting?
Yes, it does.
All right. The line is open for anyone who wants to ask questions for Mr. George or Mr. Sam. You can just unmute yourself and ask.
Okay. My name is Ngozi Monica Okonkwo from Onitsha. I just want to... Hi.
Mama.
Sam, well done, well done. I just want to encourage my colleagues to start using your software, because I'm already using it. So for my small clients and getting to the big ones is working. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can just unmute.
Yeah, let's, if it's okay, if we haven't got any more questions, you can close the call.
Okay.
Close the call.
Hello,
yes.
Hello. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening.
My name is Tunji Adewale. And then, yes, sorry, I missed the part of the fee and the earnings. My network had problems, so by the time I logged in, I just saw your last comment. So I don't know if you can just brush it through again.
Sure. Okay. I will just sort of, let me just get if I can get my screen up. So the earnings, this is the earnings. I believe this is the slide. Is it the slide?
Okay.
Is this the slide you're talking about, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, basically, it's a revenue sharing setup, whereby if you are a referral of yours subscribes to a BMAC application, if they subscribe up to up to 350,000, they get 20%. If they subscribe worth between 350,000 and 550,000, they get 25%. I gave examples, and it goes up all the way to 40%. For subscriptions above 1 million. Okay, so the idea there is that as we are marching towards the mission of helping businesses grow, the business is winning. Okay, we are fulfilling our mission, and we are also sharing in the benefits with you of this. That is it in a nutshell. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. In addition to this, we will send these slides to everybody that's registered. That we have there. We'll send this presentation slide, the Sam's presentation slide and George's presentation slide, so that, and also the recording of this webinar, so that you can have the resources and to check back and look at a few things. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Awesome stuff. So, Mr. George, last words, sir, please, before we close the call. Last words from you, sir.
Well, okay. I think the BMAC guys I will communicate when we are going to meet. You know, maybe today is Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll communicate the next meeting. We'll continue our lectures there. You want to encourage your colleagues and friends who you feel might benefit from what we are talking about to come and join. Because, like I said, I'm committed to sharing all I've got on this area to ensure that you can provide differential services to your clients, and also you can also do your own personal plan. I'm committed to ensure that anybody that wants to do his or her plan for our practice, that I will support you to do it, you know. So, and also I will empower you to be able to provide service to others so that you can be getting income from providing strategic business planning services. You know, there is business planning for files. There is business planning for results. We will focus on business planning for results.